I do want to spend some time talking a little bit about some things we can listen for and observe during these interactions. First and foremost, if you're having a conversation with somebody and you want to see if they are interested in what you have to say or not, one of the very first things I try to see out of my peripheral vision, please don't do this, that'd be weird, I want to see their feet. If their feet are pointed in my direction, there's a reasonable likelihood they're engaged with me. If their feet are pointed away from me, there's a reasonable likelihood that their internal monologue has now shifted to wherever they would rather be at this moment in time. If those feet have particularly pointed themselves at the door, that's a pretty clear indication. The same can be said with somebody's shoulders. If somebody's shoulders are open and parallel, more likely that they are engaged. As the shoulders begin to become turned perpendicular, more of an indication that they have disengaged. Please don't worry about somebody crossing their arms. I'm hoping I haven't made you feel defensive, sir. It's one of the biggest myths or misnomers in reading nonverbal body language. People generally cross their arms for two reasons: physical discomfort or emotional vulnerability. And feeling defensive is only a very, very small portion of what it means to feel emotionally vulnerable. So when somebody crosses their arms, you've got to ask yourself what was just said and what does their face say? Because it might be random, and depending on what their face says, it might be any facet of discomfort. Also, please look for contradictory facial expressions. They tell you one thing, but their facial expression doesn't seem to match. You do this all the time when you ask your kid if he brushed his teeth. Why aren't we doing this when we have recruiting conversations for Rotary? With their verbal delivery, please listen. Is all of a sudden somebody talking louder or softer, faster or slower? Are they trying to get in or out of this conversation at a different speed? Please ask yourself, does the pause fit the question? Long pauses are a problem, but no pauses can be a problem too. Is that a rehearsed answer, or are they just trying to end this conversation as quickly as they can? Please listen for equivocations. If English is somebody's first language, I can barely speak it myself, so I don't want to get too far into other languages. If English is somebody's first language, and you hear them use a word that ends in a question mark where there should be a period, especially if that word ends with the letters ly, that should be an immediate indication to you that there's more to the story. Not saying that they're lying by any stretch, definitely saying that there's probably a greater level of discomfort than they're currently letting on. As I check my watch to see the 60 seconds I have left, I'll leave you with one more. If you have heard that people break eye contact when they lie, that is 100% not true. People break eye contact when they feel stress. If they're stressed out about telling the truth, they will break eye contact. If they're totally confident lying, they're going to stare you down as they do it. But when we do feel, my dad taught me how to do that, by the way. You get in enough trouble in elementary school. Every time your dad says, Michael, look me in the eyes. Yeah, no problem. That made me nervous in the 3rd grade. This is the 5th. True story. When most people break eye contact, they don't want to be obvious. So what they're going to do is give themselves something else to look at. Their watch, their wedding ring, their nails, the imaginary lint, or more likely in my case, the dog hair on my suit. If they have a cup of coffee in their hand, whatever it might be. If somebody looks away from you while they're talking, think about it for a second. That might be an indication that they're currently uncomfortable about what they're speaking, and we need to potentially take a minute and revisit it so we don't end up feeling like we signed someone up or someone signed up for something that wasn't theirs.